NuubCast. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another NuubCast. This is Blomus. This is a 1v1 on... Oh, shoot. I never can remember the name of these new maps. This is like that arid desert something... Arid Plateau, I think is what it's called. It's kind of like... I actually kind of like this map. It's a two-player map. The other player is none other than me. I showed you my very first game of 2012. It was not a ladder game. It was a custom game. This is my very first ladder game. I had it at 2x there for a while there. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually going to put it back at 2x just for the opening here. As we see Nikos. Nikos gets his little... drone in there. Is going to hide it while I do my early opening stuff, and he is getting a fast pool. And what I do what I always do, I go in and I scout, and then I put my probe at their natural to see, you know, about when they take their expansion. And he doesn't take an expand for a little while, so I run in. I want to see what is going on. Holy crap, macro hatch. He's got some lings out. 4 lings out, going to chase down my probe. So I'm like, okay, I'm instantly thinking he's going to go a lot of lings. He's probably going to do one of those, you know, strong ling pushes that a lot of people do. A lot of Zergs are doing against Protoss. It's very, very effective. Lings can be very effective in the early game against Protoss if you attack at the right time. But now that I know about the macro hatch, he expands, and it's probably not going to attack right away, but I don't know that, so I'm still preparing for a lot of lings. I'm going to make a lot of zealots, and I want to get... I'm getting a robo basically for an observer at this point. I know I need observer. Now I see the drone, and I'm going to chase that drone around with one of my zealots. And I'm not even thinking about expanding yet, I don't think. I'm basically like, alright, I just need to get an observer over there. I really need to see what's going on. I'm going to make zealots until then because I know he's probably going to be able to make a very strong link push sooner than later. 3 hatch, you know, I only know about 2 hatches, but even on 2 macro hatches, very susceptible to an early link push. And this is a lot of Zerglings to make early on when you're only on 1 base, really. Even though now you're on 2 bases, you really want to be a Zerg. You want to be droning your pants off. And then, you know, maybe use the macro hatch to make units. And he's missing injects. Nikos is a gold player, by the way, top 50 gold. He hasn't played a ton of games this season. I think he only had like 5 wins, so I don't know. I mean, you can't really go by that. I was transferring about 50 gigs of files from my external hard drive to my internal hard drive during this game, so I was experiencing some lag here and there. I'm really concerned about those lings, so I'm very slow to take my expansion. I take my expansion. I think I'm going to put a pylon over here to block off, you know, have some fewer avenues of entrance. I'm going to poke over here just to make sure he's not hiding units back here. He's going to send a ling in just to peek. I'm still only making zealots at this point because, again, I'm just really afraid for, you know, 40 lings to push, because he could do that at this moment if he hadn't done anything else just on a macro hatch. He's only got half that right now, but if he wanted to, and he wanted to do nothing else on the macro hatch 1 base, he could push at 9 minutes with like 50 lings and completely overwhelm, and it would be brutal, and I would die. So he's gonna push in from this side, and instead of running past the cannons, he's gonna engage them. And I am cancel 1, and now he's still trying to... I don't exactly understand what he's trying to do here, but he actually doesn't get the pylon, and runs away from my 7 zealots. And I'm assuming he's going to come around from the other side and try and push this side, but I am back in time, and he doesn't. He just runs to a natural. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Cannons chase him away. Got a couple zealots over here. My expansion is finally up. I think I'm going to make a transfer at some point. I'm not as good in my macro this game as I was in the last game. And look at the food difference, man. He's already ahead. 50 food. This guy is crushing me. But that's what you can do when you have a macro hatch as a Zerg. And look, he's got a lot of drones. He's not, and he doesn't transfer any, which is a mistake. He's got a lot of drones. He should be transferring. Oh my goodness, hiccup. Transferring those over to his expansion very soon. If I'm not sure why he hasn't done so already. Gonna hide these lings back here. Gonna make for a good attacking force when they're ready. This guy, I think he's stuck in there. And I'm trying to get back on top of my macro. I'm so concerned about those Zerglings that I think I just kind of stopped. He's got his Roach worn out now, getting some Roach speed and making some Roaches. The Ling attack was not super successful, but he didn't really try to do too much. He was just poking, just wanted to see what I had going on. He's actually, he's being very effective at this point. Just poking, getting information, seeing what my army comp is, and he's doing good. But I have an observer out here, so I know that he's got Roaches, and I am able to respond, start pumping out Immortals, and I'm going to do that. My gas is getting very high. I'm not doing a lot. I was very conscious, considering, especially specifically since I spoke about it in my last cast, very conscious about getting extra gates out when my expansion finished. I was a little bit late still, but it was better this time than I have been normally. Here we have a fairly large force moving out. Again, he's still up almost 50, well, I guess it's about 40 food ahead of me. And if we check, it's going to be a lot of drones. He's up by 15 drones, so a lot of that is drones. And I'm going to come in here with some zealots, and with the cannons, the Lings are going to die pretty quick, and he actually pulls off. He probably could have done much better, but he has a whole other army waiting back here, and he's going to push with that. This is actually a pretty fun game. There's quite a bit of back and forth. And this is kind of, you know, last time I just did a game where I was like, no, don't play like this. And so I wanted to show you a game where it's much better game to cast and a lot better to be involved in. Now, he's got his army moving in over here, and I'm going to move in and just let him take out the cannons and just pick off these Lings in the meantime. And so he pulls off from there, and I'm not going to chase him. I'm sure he brings in his other army at this point, I think. But I think I rebuild the cannons. Yeah. 3 more cannons. Because I know, see, I'm not sure whether I like this map or not. I like it for... it's definitely different than Xel'Naga. It's a map that they tried to make, and they said, okay, well, what's wrong with Xel'Naga? Let's see if we can do a similar map and fix what's wrong. The problem with Xel'Naga is the natural is so wide open, but in here it's like doubly wide open because you got a decent thing that you can cut off here, and do like what you would normally do in another map with a forge fast expand and cut it off, block it off. But then you've got this whole section over here that leaves it also wide open. So it's similar, and it's similar but different. Similar but different. 2-prong attack. I've got my Immortals over here with cannons. I see this as happening, but I'm not too concerned. I'm more concerned about the Lings getting in. He's macroing these guys, microing these guys, or not microing at all, and which allows me to come in, finish off this attack, and then come back and attack this as well. And now, but again, moving in from the top, a lot of Lings and Roaches coming in from the top. I'm just finishing off these guys and getting attacked over here as well. And I think I whoop in some Zealots. I have so much money here. Moving back in, definitely don't have a good army. He's still like 20 food ahead of me. And just streaming, and guys, he's got to be thinking that he has this game won. thing is I am 1-1. He has only plussed his Carapace. Looks like he's going to expand down here. He's waiting for the opportunity to expand. These Lings are going to go over here, chill out at the gold. And I'm kind of crapping in my pants. I know I need more guys. I know I need to get a third base, but I'm not macroing well at all in this game. I am, as you can see, I'm not making probes. I'm, you know, he's just really just keeping me busy and keeping me from being able to do the things that I need to do. I need to get Blink. I need to keep upgrading. I just hit my upgrade, making more Immortals. He's got a third base up and running, fully saturated immediately because he's been droning like crazy. He's out of, he's mined out in his main, and he's just continuing to make a big army and come at me. I'm barely getting opportunity to breathe, but this has been, right here, this observer has been my saving grace basically throughout the entire game. Every unit composition he's going to come out, I'm going to see the minute he moves out. It's going to help me, keep me on my toes with my warp-ins, keep me chrono boosting things, getting Immortals out, getting my Blink finish, getting that chrono boost. You know, I'm not, I'm still slow on everything, but, and then I noticed that my, I'm about to be mined out of the main, so I want to go get my third base up. I don't even know if he's knocked down these rocks, because I know he's had units coming in from that way before. And but I'm going to get this up. I'm going to throw some pylons down here so I can see those rocks. And he is getting this huge-ass Doom Drop ready, getting Burrow. He's got a Hydralisk Den up. He's making Hydras. And this is where I think that the game is basically about to be over. Huge Doom Drop. That is his, I don't know, that's a lot. It's a lot of army. And he's making a bunch of Hydras as well. When is he going to start this? He's still waiting to start that. Looks like I spent a bunch of minerals. I made some Stalkers and Zealots. I've got my third up. I'm dropping some more gates because I'm going to need them. Probe transfer. I'm long distance mining, waiting for this to finish. And here comes the Doom Drop. Le Doom Drop. I'm gonna speed it up here, and he's really smart about it. He's really smart about it. He waits outside. As you can see on the mini map, he's got another force coming in the front. He attacks with the Hydras first, gets my attention, and I have no idea that this drop is happening. I have no idea. I don't see it. I look over here right now. I see everything is dying. My Robo's gone. Gates are finished. Temporal Archive is dead in the middle of Storm. That's going to finish off. And he is 50 foot ahead of me, man. 50 foot ahead of me. I blink in with my Stalkers, but somehow I managed to kill his army. I think he lost a lot of Banelings on the buildings and stuff, and so because of that, because he didn't micro his army almost at all, and I know I need to be aggressive at this point. So I am going to start trying to get an army together to move out and attack him. I'm not even sure if I take these with me. But he, again, trying to keep the pressure on, bringing Lings in, wants to take out my economy. I noticed them. I lose 1, 2, 3, 4 probes. I pulled 5 probes, pulled my guys off, warp in some Zealots. Get the guys back to work. Bringing these guys are going to kill them. I've got my army up here, basically getting killed because Hydras against Stalker Immortal, they just own. So I realize that. I pull out, and he's going to chase me down. I got Stalkers here. I'm moving out. I leave these units here basically to die so my Immortals can get away because I want to hang on to them. Grab some Zealots. Zealots are pretty good against Hydras. Well, good against tanking against Hydras. They actually die pretty fast, but then I had enough to clean these Hydras up. And now, again, he's just being really aggressive. Look, he's like moved all of his drones off of this base. They're all here and here. He's not mining even at his natural now. That was kind of a mistake because it could be 3 bases to 2 right now, but it's only 2 bases to 2. And this is like some of the worst force fields you'll ever see right there. The first 3 were okay. The last 2 were like, what the hell are you doing? And I move in and take out this base. And start to move up again. I don't see these drones. I have a bunch more gates now, though. I'm warping in units, trying to spend all this money I have. I've lost a lot of tech, so I'm basically all gateway all the time here, just holding on. And now we're like doing this. Oh, I've been at +2 that whole time. I can't believe it. Better force fields, focusing, zoning off these units. And able to kill off this army. I don't even know about this base. I'm completely unaware of it. Take a look at my vision. I'm going to move in. He's got a lot of lings here. He's going to try and counter while I go finish off. I totally see this. Again, the observers in this game save me. I'm able to counter, able to cut off these zerglings with my zealots, and they don't get in because I warp in more zealots. They don't get in to kill my economy, and I am able to kill them easily, and that causes him to GG, and that ends the game. I'm not sure if he should have left at that point. I mean, I have a very, very small army here. I do have a ton of zealots that I'm about to send into his base to wreck his world, after which case probably would have to end it. But this was an example of a good game. I apologize for having it at 2 speed like the whole game. That was not my intention. But it was my game, so you know, I feel less bad about putting it out there with at that speed. You got to see everything. I don't think I missed anything at 2 speed. Just everything went faster. I don't know if there was anything to teach about in this game other than to say that this is the kind of game that I like to cast. It was a really fun game to play. Constant pressure by the Zerg, and basically just trying to defend and hold off and stay in the game. And I did not play particularly well, not as well as I did in the last game. My macro really suffered. But so did my opponents. He made some bad decisions. And he killed my tech before I could really hurt him with like Templar or Colossus. So that was that. Basically, I think upgrades probably at the end of the day was what won me the game. I was 2-2 and he was 1-0. I think he had 1 armor and that was it. Yeah, 1 carapace. He didn't upgrade. He only had 1 Evo chamber. And that was that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it, but this is the kind of game that we like to see lots of action. And keep climbing that ladder. Peace. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. Jemima. Aunt Jemima. Pancakes.